What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's late night news roundup, which will be the last piece of content that I make for you guys for about a week as I take some time out to get a mental rest during this international break. Don't fear though, I have 10 videos in the bag pre-recorded, some interesting topics that will be going out over the next week or so, and Mr. Crosby will be here with a couple of bits and pieces as well. Until then, tonight we're going to focus on what Wayne Rooney has had to say about some of our underperforming stars and maybe some ego creeping in. We'll be talking about Bayern Munich entering the race for MARC. We'll have some take on KONATE and some injury concerns for him as he is assessed by the French medical team, and a few other interesting bits and pieces that I hope keep you right up to date with where we are. I also want to just take this chance on not just on behalf of me, but my entire family, to say thank you to so many people, whether you like me or dislike me, whether you agree with my football opinions or not. The support that I've had over the past 24 hours from far and wide is something that is been hugely appreciated by myself and my family. So to all of you, thank you so much for that. But less waffling, more talking about footy, and let's get stuck into it. So this piece here from Wayne Rooney, well, he's calling out some of the big performing players at Liverpool, and he doesn't think they're pulling their weight. So this is what he's had to say. Top players have an ego, and Mo Salah has been one of the best players in the league for a long time. I think the last week has shown that when it's gone well, you're scoring goals and you're winning games. It's great, and the team will put up with that. But over the last week, I'd question his work ethic. I know he doesn't always get back and defend as much, but in the Chelsea game, his fullback is getting torn apart and he is watching. On top of that, he said players like Van Dijk and Alisson, who I know wasn't playing, but still leaders in the dressing room, should be telling him, you need to help. For me, that was a worry. He looked a little bit lost on the past week, in my opinion. Now, we know Arne had said last season that perhaps Mo wasn't being asked to do as much defensively. And I think it comes down to maybe a team being able, I don't like to use the word passenger, but I don't really know what else to say here, to carry one passenger, to have one player that maybe doesn't have the defensive duties of the rest. But if pros like Rooney, who of course, look, have been around the game long enough to know what they're looking at, if they're seeing this and calling it out, it kind of is backing up what we as fans are saying about it just isn't working down that right-hand side. And I'm going to give you a stat in a couple of moments around the Chelsea game is that shows you how that they zoned in right in that area. So let us know your take on what Rooney had to say there about the likes of Mohamed Salah and maybe just not doing as much hard work as they should. So UEFA have issued a bit of a warning to FSG and others about taking games abroad. So we've seen the desire from Tom Werner, one of FSG's the owners of FSG, and other clubs that they want to take a league game globally to obviously increase revenues and open up new markets. Well, UEFA have reiterated their opposition to domestic league games being played abroad in the light of controversial claims made by Liverpool's chairman Tom Werner. President of the governing body Alexander Kefrin warned that playing overseas would disenfranchise loyal match-going fans. And he's not wrong. I think the whole idea of this is nonsense. Yes, the NFL have done it, but the NFL need to grow markets, need to find new areas to grow in. They are a league for a country pretty much, and American football isn't really played elsewhere in the world, at least to a high professional standard. I know there's a league in Canada, but it's not like football. It's not like our football that's played far and wide around the world. So I've never been one for wanting league games to be played away from home, and I'm glad that Kefrin has spoken up about it. But let me know your thoughts on it. We've seen some cup competitions, some super cups and stuff like that, the likes of the Serie A and the La Liga teams going abroad to play some cup games. I don't like it, but I'd love to know your thoughts on it. An interesting stat here that LFC Transfer Room posted, and it's that after his goal against Brentford on Sunday, Erling Haaland has scored at every single Premier League ground he's played at, apart from Anfield. That is nuts. You know, it is crazy to me that he hasn't yet scored at Anfield against Liverpool. And hopefully it continues for a while. But I just thought it was an interesting stat, so I wanted to bring it to you. Anfield Watch have posted something about Craig Houlden. They said Craig Houlden scored his first goal at club level in almost a year for the under-21s last Friday. But the reason I bring this up is they ask an interesting question. Has he just celebrated his 21st birthday? Yes. But does he still have a future at Liverpool? That much I want you guys to let me know about. I like Craig Houlden. Kind of surprised to realise he's only 21. But for me, if he has any more serious injuries or breaks in his ability to play, I think that will probably spell the end from at Liverpool. So for me, it's probably a last chance saloon. But let me know what your take is. L'Equipe have said that Liverpool defender Ibrahim KONATE is suffering from a quadricep injury, and the French national team medical staff will analyse the situation at Clairefontaine. And here's hoping that we don't have another injury concern to look at. Now, I mentioned earlier on that I'll come back to give you some numbers around Chelsea attacking Liverpool in a specific area. Sky Sports have put up a graphic that shows that 41% of the time they attacked down their left or Liverpool's right-hand side. And again, this probably you could extrapolate this across multiple games and multiple teams. We do tend to be targeted down that side and have done for quite a while. So again, no surprise to see that these stats kind of back that up. Last bit before I leave you is Florian Plettenberg has opened up a little bit on Bayern Munich's interest in MARC. He said FC Bayern are already looking concretely at MARC. Max Erbel is a big admirer, and after initial talks with the players' representatives have already taken place, Bayern are interested in a free transfer in 2026, but that depends on what happens with Upamecano and Kim. There is competition. Liverpool and Barcelona are seriously involved, and Real Madrid are also in the race. I've got to say, I'd be concerned if Liverpool haven't got MARC's word that he's going to come at the end of the season. I really would. I don't know one way or the other what's going to happen, but I remember something from James Pearce saying that he will be a Liverpool player. It's just a matter of when. So that's what's given me hope that in the summer, MARC comes to Liverpool. It's no surprise to me that clubs like Bayern, Real Madrid, Barcelona will be looking at him. He'd be a free transfer. They'd be mad not to be looking at him. But it would be very worrying from our side if it wasn't MARC that we got. Because not only then would we have to go find another target, but most importantly, we'd probably have to throw another shed load of money at the centre-back problem. There's also been some different takes from David Ornstein about what he expects us to happen in January. He said, as things stand, he doesn't think that Liverpool are planning to get a centre-back in. I think it will be absolute insanity not to bring in a centre-back, if at all possible, in January. Now, of course, sometimes it isn't possible to get the player that you would need or the player of an adequate standard to come into your team in January. And that much, you could understand. But to just rule it out or to say you're not going to even look at it, I think that would be foolish if that was the case. Because for me, you'd hope MARC would come into the end of the season or come in at the end of the season. I think we could sign somebody in January and likely then see Joe Gomez move on in the summer. That's my take on it anyway. But of course, I want to know what you guys think. As I mentioned, this is going to be my last bit of content for you guys until I'm back. I have recorded some videos already that are scheduled to go out over the next few days. I should be back. Hopefully going to be back a week from Thursday to be able to do a late night agenda with you and get a preview squeezed in before I head over for the United game. But I also wanted to let you know about our last ever live show happening at the Hot Water Comedy Club Liverpool, Sunday 19th of October, the night of the Manchester United game. They will of course be showing the game at the venue. Hope to see you there. Tickets are priced at just £15 and all the ticket revenue from our side is going to the GoFundMe for Joe Lewis's wheelchair basketball chair. And again, it'll be the last time we do it, so I hope to see you there. Appreciate you all as always. I will see you hopefully when I see you sometime soon, and I love you all to bits. Thank you so much for your support. As always, we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.